Welcome to this tutorial dedicated to the classroom mode of TIA Connect. Classroom mode allows a trainer to supervise their students' workstations in real time from a single screen. We will see how to connect a teacher station to one or more student stations, how to monitor project progress, remotely control PLCs, view programs, and communicate via integrated chat, all without leaving TIA Connect. In an automation training room, the trainer must regularly move from station to station to check the students' work, help them debug, or verify that they have compiled without errors. TIA Connect's classroom mode centralizes all of this on a single screen. The trainer sees in real time which students are connected, which project they have open, and which version of TIA portal they are using. They can remotely compile their program, consult their blocks and tags, and even chat without moving. The architecture is based on SignalR. Student stations automatically connect to the trainer's hub via a room token. It is simple, secure, and works on any local network. On the trainer's station, we open TIA Connect and navigate to the Classroom tab. The configuration panel is displayed. By default, the teacher role is selected. This is what we want for the trainer station. We configure the port 9100 by default. We leave it as is. Next, we define a room token. This token acts as a password. Only students who know it will be able to connect. Here, we use Formation 2026. Clicking on Start Teacher starts the SignalR hub. The dashboard appears with the workstation's IP address. This is the address that students will need to enter to connect. For now, no students are connected. On the student's workstation, we switch to student mode. We enter the student's name, here Jean DuPont. Then the trainer's workstation IP address, port 9100, and the room token. This information is normally provided by the trainer at the start of the session. Once connected, the student sees a status screen with a green indicator confirming the connection. Back on the instructor station, we see Jean DuPont appearing in the list of connected students. The green status indicates that he is online. The table also displays the name of his TIA portal project, the TIA version he is using, and the time of his last activity. The heartbeat sends this information automatically every 10 seconds. The instructor now has a real-time view of the student's station. By clicking on the remote control button, a panel opens at the bottom of the dashboard. From this panel, the instructor can perform actions on the student's project. Let's look at the main commands available. The Project Info button retrieves detailed information from the student's project. We can see the project name, the configured hardware, for example, an S7-1500 CPU, the number of programmed blocks and tag tables. This is a quick overview that allows the instructor to verify that the student is working on the correct project with the correct configuration. The trainer can list the devices configured in the student's project, then view the programmed blocks. But the most useful function is undoubtedly remote compilation. With one click, the trainer compiles the student's program and immediately obtains the result, number of errors, number of warnings, and the details of each message. No more need to move around to ask, does it compile? The answer is there in a few seconds.
The project viewer opens a dedicated window that allows exploring the student's program in detail. Several tabs are available: program blocks, tags, user data types, watch tables, DB values, and a visual view of the code. It is as if the trainer were opening the project on their own workstation, but everything happens over the network, without file copying. The Blocks tab lists all blocks with their type and programming language. The Tags tab displays all PLC variables with their addresses and data types. The DB Values tab allows viewing the current values of data blocks. And the Compile button at the top of the window allows starting a compilation without returning to the main dashboard. The trainer can thus inspect a student's work in depth. Classroom mode includes a chat to communicate directly with students. In the dashboard header, we switch from the Dashboard tab to the Chat tab. The names of connected students appear as horizontal tabs. By selecting a student, the conversation area is displayed. The trainer can thus help a student without moving. Let's send a first message. We type the text and press Enter. The message appears immediately in the conversation, right aligned with the trainer's color. The message is transmitted in real time via SignalR. The student receives it instantly on their station. On the student's station, the trainer's message appears immediately in the chat area. The student can reply directly. Here, the student reports an error on a block. The trainer will be able to react without moving, either by compiling remotely to see the error, or by opening the project viewer. Back on the trainer's station, a red badge appears on the Chat tab indicating an unread message. In the student list, the chat icon has turned green to signal the student who sent a message. By opening the chat, the entire conversation is found. The trainer can now compile the student's program to identify the error, then reply with the solution, all without leaving their desk. Here is a typical training room workflow. The student reports a problem via chat. The instructor switches to the dashboard, compiles the program remotely, identifies the error, then returns to the chat to guide the student. Everything happens in a few seconds, without moving. With several students connected, the instructor can manage the entire room from their screen. Classroom mode naturally manages multiple students. Each one appears in the list with their own information. In the chat, tabs allow for quick switching between conversations. Badges indicate unread messages for each student. The instructor maintains a global view of the entire room. At the end of the session, students disconnect from their stations. The instructor sees their status turn red. The chat history remains accessible even after disconnection, but messages can no longer be sent. If a student reconnects, for example after a restart, the chat history is automatically preserved. When the session is over, the instructor stops the hub with the Stop button. In the event of a network outage or restart, the student agent automatically reconnects to the teacher hub. The reconnection delay increases progressively to avoid overloading the network: 2 seconds, then 4, then 8, up to a maximum of 1 minute. Once reconnected, everything resumes normally and the chat history is preserved. Let's recap what we have just discovered. The classroom mode of TIA Connect transforms the management of a training room into automation. The trainer starts a hub on their workstation, students connect to it with a simple room token, and the trainer immediately has a real-time dashboard. From this dashboard, they can see the status of each student's projects, compile their programs remotely to check for errors, explore their blocks and tags via the project viewer, and communicate via integrated chat to guide students without moving. The SignalR architecture ensures instantaneous exchanges and automatic reconnection in case of an outage. The entire configuration is done in a few clicks, without complex network installation. This feature is available with licenses that include the classroom feature. Thank you for following this tutorial. See you soon on TIA Connect.